Hey everybody, how's it going? So today we're doing our first dungeon, and the dungeon is the Deadmines. I'm very excited to get into the Deadmines, and all of the dungeons going forward. If you want to know a little fun fact about me, the classic dungeons are probably my most favourite dungeons in World of Warcraft. Now, that's partly probably because there was the first ones that I saw, and there was the first ones that really got me into the whole dungeoning / raiding sort of thing. But yeah, I really enjoy the dungeons in WoW. So right now we're in Deadmines, so you have to dodge some of these cannons and then we can just go on and attack these guys. If I can just put up my my serpent sting on everything, which is good. Right, let me see. Serpent sting that. Serpent sting that. Oh, that was a cannon. Didn't really need to serpent sting it. However, I did. Never mind. So right now we're at the top of the damage meters, which is a good thing, obviously, because it's always good to be at the top of the meters. However, we are hunter, and hunters are very strong. So. Although some of these guys this guy especially, the mage, seems to be in heirlooms, so you'd think that he would be doing the most damage out of us all. So the way that loot works in here is if you don't need something, you greed on it. Okay, here we go. If you don't need it, you greed on it. If you need it, then you need it, and if everybody needs it, then it goes to a rolling system. If you don't know what a rolling system is, basically it throws some pretend dice and you get allotted a number, and if somebody rolls higher than you, they win the item. If you roll higher than somebody else, you win the item. So we're coming up to the first boss right now, which is pretty cool. Doing quite a nice amount of damage. It's always good to do high damage. So as you can see, it's an axe. I don't use an axe, so I don't need it. Get in there, Alfred. When you're killing bosses, you just basically DPS the bosses down. Later on, there are mechanics in other dungeons. However, this early on in game, there's really no mechanics to worry about. There are some, but I mean, not really that will affect you. And there we go, there's our first quest turned in, called the Forgeman. That's cool. So the loot was gloves for a mage or a spellcaster, warlock, a mage, priest, stuff like that. Our healer doesn't need them because they're a druid and they should be wearing leather, really. I suppose it might be an upgrade for her though. So I'm not really sure how to structure these dungeons out, if I'm gonna, because right now I have 3 available dungeons to do. I have this, the Deadmines, which is what we're doing now. I have the Wailing Caverns, and I have Ragefire Chasm, I think. Let me take a look. Yep, Ragefire Chasm. Ragefire Chasm's a very short dungeon. I could probably do that and do something else as well. Do some questing or something. Wailing Caverns is quite a long one, so I'm not really sure how to structure it, whether or not I want to run all the dungeons as soon as I get them, or if I want to run one and then do some questing and then run some more and then do some more questing. I'm really not sure how I'm going to structure that yet. Maybe you guys could have a little bit of input on that and tell me what you would prefer to see. If you wouldn't like to see constant... Let me take Growl off there, that was a bit of a mistake. Tank probably can't keep aggro over him. But if you guys want to see dungeons one after another, then I can do that. Oh, excuse me guys. I think I'm just about getting better now. It's been like over a week. And there we go, there's our second quest. Oh, excuse me. So yeah, it's been over a week since I was ill. Probably aiming on for 2. I think why it is because I live in England. And for a while it was quite hot in England. But now it's started to cool down. So I think what's happened is that my body got used to the heat. And then as soon as it turned cold, I caught a cold. Which is a pain, but never mind. I mean, winter's nearly here now. In England, we rarely have like 2 to 3 weeks of sun, which is kind of annoying, but I guess it's fine because heat kind of annoys me after a while. So yeah, I guess it's fine that it's not always sunny here. I think it'd annoy me more than make me happy. But yeah, there's our second boss completed, and we're able to turn in our second quest. And it dropped a shield, so that would be a tank item. So it looks like we could possibly level up from doing this. However, I'm not too sure. We'll have to wait and see. Alright, so yeah, put up Serpent Sting on everything. Try and do some damage. Get some damage rolling in. Of course, sometimes you don't think it's worth putting Serpent Sting on everything because things die before your Serpent Sting does anything major. But it's worth it because it gives you that extra bit of damage. This mage, it's a Frost Mage. The Frost Mage should really be outpacing all of us at this point. Frost Mages are really strong in the early game. Oops. Alright, keeping the tank on his feet. The one thing that kind of upsets me is that there's not much music playing right now. And the best thing about combat is the epic music that goes along with it. I guess that's just my opinion, but... So at this point I think we're about halfway through this dungeon. Let me see. So first boss, second boss. There's a boss at the bottom of here. And then I believe we go to the final boss. So down here, in here, it's kind of like a forge. As you can see, they've got a massive, like bucket of lava that they're using to forge things. Well, I think that's what they're using it for. Okay, let me. You DPS these down as much as you can, and then I think you use them against the boss, or you use one of them against the boss. However, you do have to kill them all before the boss comes to life. Which is kind of a cool mechanic. I mean, it happens later on in game as well, where you have to attack things before the boss will come active. But there you go, as you can see, the boss should be starting to animate right now. Yeah, as you can see, lightning's flashing through him. There we go. Foe Reaper 5000. The mage engaged, so I engaged too. So make sure I'm using all of my abilities when they come off cooldown, which is what I'm doing. So number 4 is ready. Get my Serpent Sting back up because it's dropped off. As you can see, we're doing a massive amount of damage. It's really, really cool. So this guy's dropped Foe Reaper, which is a mace, which would be good for... Oh, well, I won it on a greed world. It'd be good for Retribution Paladins or Arms Warriors. What else could it be good for? I guess if Death Knights came at a low level, then it would be good for Death Knights too. However, if you didn't know, Death Knights are hero class, which means that you need to be at level 55 before you can roll one, and it also means that they start at level 55. So every Death Knight cannot run through Deadmines at the appropriate level. They have to basically, if they want to run it, they have to basically do it when they're higher level and just solo the place. I know on my Paladin I have a lot of fun soloing these old instances. I don't know if I've mentioned it before, but one of the big things that got me into WoW at the beginning was watching WoW Hobbs' videos. Before that I obviously knew about it, and I think I'd played it before that. However, I didn't stick around very long. And I used to watch all his whole like Scarlet Monastery power leveling, where one pull sort of videos where he would take in like 4 level 30s into Scarlet Monastery and then power level them, basically giving them massive amounts of XP, which I think it's awesome. I mean, I don't know if it still works, but if it did, I'd be willing to power level people through some old dungeons. It is quite a lot of fun. Of course, with the stipulation, it would be you can roll on the gear, but anything else that drops that you don't need, I would take it to disenchant or whatever, or to sell on the auction house. But usually it would be the cloth and stuff that I'd be after, because I'm going to be leveling up my tailoring and stuff on other characters. So here we have 3 bosses on this little ship here. As you see, this is what we saw in the vision of the past before. Oops, accidentally stood in the cannon blast there. This is what we saw in the vision of the past. It's the ship that Edwin Van Cleef was on. Basically, there's 3 bosses on there. There's Admiral Rip Snarl, there is Captain Cookie and Vanessa Van Cleef. Basically, you just have to kill them all, and once you've killed them, you get loot, and of course you get the XP and stuff, and then you complete the dungeon. But it's really cool because it's 3 bosses, which means 3 lots of loot very quickly, one after another pretty much. I hope I didn't just click need. Nah, I clicked greed. Okay, good. My finger slipped a little bit, which is why I didn't want it to click on greed, or need, sorry. So right now we're just clearing out the boat. Where's the tank? The tank's right back over there. I guess he got knocked off again. Alright, not to worry. It looks like we can handle a few of these mobs. As long as we have enough damage to put them down before they put us down, it should be fine. Right, so yeah. Now the tank's making his way up, which is good. And this mage is on a cannon. So yeah, backpedaling, what I'm doing right now is looked down upon in the World of Warcraft community. I think maybe even possibly is looked down upon in the Guild Wars community, but not so much, because I've never heard anybody complain about people that are backpedaling. In WoW, if you backpedal, people rip you apart. However, I do it because I have it bound, just because sometimes I'm not being attacked, but I just want to move a little bit, and I can move just perfectly moving backwards instead of like strafing, which is what people would want you to do. They'd want you to strafe back like that instead of backpedaling, as they call it. But me, I don't see nothing wrong with it. If you guys want to play like that, you can play like that. It's your account, right? Alright, so here we have some more abilities. We've managed to level up, and now we have this eagle eye thing, which is quite cool, as you can see. You get to put it on wherever you want it and see from that point of view. I think that's a really cool ability. Of course, it's like purely for just looking at things, but I still think it's a really, really neat ability. While you're looking at things, you can see things that are quite far away. If you watch, like, basically what I think it's supposed to say is that you send an eagle up there, and you can see it. That gave me a loading screen. That was really strange. But yeah, it's almost as if you send an eagle up there, and then you can see through the eye of the eagle, which is really awesome. So we're coming up for the last bosses right now. First we have the Admiral, who was at Sentinel Hill in Westfall. If you remember, he was the one that was chained up, and Vanessa Van Cleef came and let him out. Well, now we've come to serve justice to Vanessa Van Cleef. Here he is, Admiral Ripsnarl. So make sure you're doing as much damage as you can, keeping your dots and stuff up at all times. Alright, so now the fog's rolling in, so this is like a ad stage where you have to kill the ads that pop up, the little vapours. Very easy fight, this one. I've really never had any groups that have had trouble with this. And then Ripsnarl comes back out, so you have to put your dots back on him and then start DPSing him down again until he's about 50%, and then he'll do the exact same thing. I think he does it every 25% of his HP. Oh, we can smell our fear. But yeah, he does it every 25% of his HP, which is, I guess it's kind of cool. Oops, so I didn't get a chance to put my dots up there. Silly me. Let me build up focus here. Right, Ripsnarl. Put up my my dots as quick as I can. Do as much damage as quick as I can into him to try and get him down. And there we go. There's Ripsnarl is down. We have completed a quest, and we get another one. That's a spellcaster's ring. So unfortunately right now we don't seem to be getting anything that's benefiting us. Here's Captain Cookie the Murloc. He sits in his little food bowl there, which is really weird. But I mean, it's fine. So you just DPS him down as quick as you can. He does throw food at you. I'm not really sure what it does, but there you go. Ah, so do we not kill Vanessa Van Cleef in here? I'm sure. Ah, heroic difficulty only. So you only come and kill Vanessa Van Cleef if you do it on heroic. And this is a cape for us. Do we win the role? Unfortunately, we don't. The rogue won the role, but that's fine. So now we're turning the quest here, and we get a new cape anyway, so it's not that much of a problem. And there we go, now we have a new cape. So that's our first dungeon, guys. We've only been going for around 18 minutes, so I guess we can go and do some quests. Right, so the reason I'm over here is because I actually flew over to to Goldshire to sell some of the stuff before I went into the dungeon. So here's some Gortusks. These are the things we need to kill for, if I'm thinking right, it's the kidneys, right? Yep, it's the kidneys. There's a lot of them around here actually, which is kind of cool. Last things, and then hopefully we get to move on to over there, turn some more quests in, and head on to... Alright, so we need to run back this way anyway. As you can see, if we, just for an example, Eagle Eye, we're all the way over there somewhere. That's us down there, look, there's Alfred. But that's really cool, it's a really cool ability. I don't remember it giving you a loading screen before, but I guess that's fine. I mean, it doesn't make that much of a difference. So, next episode, guys, I guess I can do a poll if you guys actually watch this far, then awesome. Thanks, guys, for watching this far. Poll is, which dungeon should we do next? Ragefire Chasm, the Wailing Caverns, or Shadowfang Keep? Now, I think we should keep Shadowfang Keep out of it, as it's a high dungeon. And I think we should keep it between Wailing Caverns and Ragefire Chasms. So if you pick which one you would like us to do, then I will definitely do it. As well as that, I think what I'm going to do as soon as I end this episode is I'm going to fly over to Stormwind and pick up the class quest off the Hunter, which gives us a quest to go inside of Shadowfang Keep. That gives us a weapon. So actually, I guess what we could do is I could throw a little clip in at the end of this video of that, and if that gives us a bow, then that's the dungeon that we're going to do next. Right, so there we go, that's that turned in. Now we just have to run all the way back across there and turn these ones in. However though, I think what I'm going to do, guys, is I'm going to fly quickly from Lakeshire to Stormwind. I'm going to cut the video out and I'm going to quickly go get the class quest to show you guys where I can get it from, and then we can see what the next dungeon's going to be right now. So, off we go to the flight path. There is supposed to be a rare mob somewhere around here. I think it sits on top of one of these. Or I think it's the green one that sits on top of one of the rocks. Or it may be because I've already killed the one that sits on the rock. I think it's that rock right there it sits on, but I'm not too sure. So let's quickly run to the Flight Master, and yeah, we'll quickly go get our class quest. Because I believe we might not even be able to get the class quest yet, but I believe we can, because it's given us the option to go to the Shadowfang Keep. So, one second, guys. Alright, so here we are, we're in Stormwind City, guys. Gotta quickly show you how you can find your class trainer if you've never found them before, or if you didn't know about this quest. Basically, you talk to any Stormwind guard. If you ask them about class trainer, then you click on your specific class. Mine, of course, is the Hunter. Oops, and that gave us two options right there. I didn't think it would. So if we go back, we go Hunter, Old Town, or Dwarven. So we'll go to the Old Town because that's just a little bit closer. It gives you a little red flag on your map. You run to that little red flag, and there you go, you found your class trainer. Now, I don't know if both of these are going to give me a quest. Maybe it is only the one in the Dwarven district that can give me the quest. But we're going to check anyway, just to make sure. I really, really like Stormwind City. That's one thing that I know that I've been over this before, I think anyway, in this Let's Play, is that that's one thing that put me off the Horde as a class, like being primarily Horde, is that the cities, they don't appeal to me. The only city that really appeals to me, that I actually like, is Thunderbluff and the Undercity. Those are the only two cities that I like, and pretty much nobody hangs out in either of those zones. So I mean, yeah, it's one of those situations, but I guess, you know. So the Hunter trainer is in here, and unfortunately it looks like we can't get the class quest. So what I need you guys to decide right now is if we are going to do Ragefire Chasm or Wailing Caverns. We're basically going to leave Shadowfang until we can get the Hunter quest. So leave your comments down below, tell me what you want me to go to, and I'll see you next time, guys. Bye bye. Bye from Alfred, bye from me. See you next time.